Hello, I'm Lourdes Smits for the Finance News Network, and joining me at the World Business Forum in Sydney is Australia's former and second longest serving Prime Minister, John Howard. John Howard, welcome to the forum.
Pleasure to be here.
You're about to give a presentation titled The Global Economic Future, but where does Australia fit in the modern globalised marketplace, and what headwinds are we likely to face?
Well, Australia is a very active participant in the modern world marketplace, not only because of our commodity exports, but also because we are a free trading open country and we benefit from the dissolution of trade barriers. Headwinds, yes, we always face headwinds. You've always got to fight for market share, and domestically you've always got to remain up with the latest reform requirements. No country can ever afford to take it easy when it comes to economic reform.
Mr. Howard, you led Australia as Prime Minister from 1996 to 2007. How have the economic changes that you implemented impacted the economy today?
Well, the greatest benefit of our economic changes was that when Australia went into the global financial crisis in 2008, we were left largely unaffected because this country had no debt. It had a surplus, and we had $60 billion put aside to meet the future obligations of retiring public servants. In other words, Australia was in superb physical condition when the global financial crisis hit, and that's one of the major reasons why we were left relatively unaffected by the downturn.
In the time since you left office, the mining boom has peaked. Do you think the country took full advantage of its prosperity, or has it missed its golden opportunity?
Well, I don't think we missed a golden opportunity at all. We continue to get the benefits of the resources boom. What we have to do is manage the readjustment process. But the mining industry will continue to be a big earner for Australia. We have to keep in proportion the way in which the mining boom is levelling out. It's not going to disappear.
Certainly, but the minerals resource rent tax barely generated any money last year. Is this a sign perhaps that we haven't gotten all that we should have from the mining boom?
No, I don't think that's a judge of that at all, because the existing taxation system, leaving aside the mining resource rent tax, means that mining companies pay enormous amounts of tax. And the people they employ pay tax. It earns an enormous amount of export dollars for Australia. So any suggestion that we haven't taken advantage of it is misplaced.
But Mr. Howard, irrespective of mining remaining strong, it has come off its peaks. What do you believe will support Australia's economy moving forward?
Well, we'll continue to have very strong growth activity in mining. So we have to understand that. It's not going to disappear. It's just not going to keep on growing exponentially. We will need to further develop our capacity in service industries. We will need to maintain the strength and encourage the development of the strength of new niche manufacturing capacities. The old manufacturing industries are not going to be for us in the future, but there are plenty of new niche manufacturing opportunities. We sometimes miss the significance of that. We sometimes ignore the reality that we can get benefit from some of those niche manufacturing industries.
Now, there is a lot of belief that the Australian economy is overregulated, especially in the finance and banking sectors. Do you believe this overregulation is negatively impacting our economy?
I don't hear as much about that as perhaps you might hear in the more closed financial banking circuit. I can understand why people would want fewer regulations, and there's always a case for reducing regulation. I mean, my starting position is that everything is probably over-regulated, but once again, on a world scale, I don't think Australia is over-regulated.
Now, it's been said by many economists that small to medium enterprises are the future of our economy and indeed our country. What do you believe the government should be doing that it isn't already to support the future of these businesses?
Well, one of the things that the government does need to do, and I know it's foreshadowed this, is to revisit industrial relations issues, because employment laws, restrictions on things like unfair dismissals and the like, we all know that they have a negative impact on small and medium business. Now the government is certainly going to examine that, and if it's got changes it will take it to the next election.
Finally, Mr. Howard, you have said before that being Prime Minister is honour enough, but when you look back at your achievements, what are you most proud of?
That I left behind a country that was stronger, prouder and more prosperous than the one that I was elected to lead in '96.
Mr. Howard, thank you so much for speaking to the Finance News Network here at the World Business Forum.
Thank you.